Hi everyone, this is Jimmy Young in Instructional Technology at Oklahoma Baptist University, and today I want to show you how to add basic content to your new Moodle course. So if you've never added content before, we're going to go through it step by step. And this is an updated tutorial for our new Moodle version, Moodle 2.2. So we want to start by going to Moodle Rooms, of course, moodlerooms.okbu.edu, and log in. And then go to one of your courses. I'm going to scroll down and click on the navigation section and click that little gray triangle, and it drops down and shows me all the courses that I'm listed as a teacher in. You may see your courses over here in the middle section as well, but there's a couple of different ways to get to it. We're going to get to it this way, so I'm going to click on the course that I'm interested in, and notice we're going to add content to this course. This is an empty course. All you can see is the news forum, which every course gets, and then a bunch of different empty content areas. And notice there's no icons here that I can do. Seems like I can do anything with it. That's because I have to turn editing on. Can't do anything useful in Moodle without turning editing on. So click that button if it isn't on already. And again, we're going to add some content. Now, content in Moodle could be anything from text files that you type in and format or cut and paste, or files, links to files such as maybe a Word document or a PDF file, or a link to a website like a video link to a YouTube video. So those are the types of content we'll be adding today. And I wanted to give you a little tutorial of the navigation of Moodle and the different icons. Notice that we've got three different columns here. There's a navigation column on the left, and then there's content column in the middle, and then there's this column on the right they call blocks, the block column. So we're going to be spending most of our time in the content column. And I want to walk you through some of these icons as well. Notice we've got some editing icons next to all these areas of content in our course, and each one of those do something specific. And the best way to learn what they do is to hover your mouse over them and stop your mouse, and you'll have a little pop-up help window come up. So that's telling us that little black crosshairs icon, if we click it, it allows us to move that piece of content. Let's go over to the next one and hover, and if I stop my mouse, then the little pop-up comes up and it says move right. So that means I can use that icon to move that piece of content to the right and give it a little hierarchical indentation. This is the update icon where I can change that piece of content. This is the duplicate icon, and this is delete, of course. The eyeball icon hides the content. It's a toggle, so if I click on it, the eyeball closes and the content grays out, and nobody can see it. The teacher can see it, but the students can't. So let's turn that back on. So those are some of the basic details of how we get around in Moodle. Now let's we're going to add some content. Now notice I've got two types of content that I can add: resources and activities. This is a good time to mention these little blue help bubbles. Anytime you see the blue eye, little round dot, it stands for information. Basically, if you click on that, it gives you contextual help. So if you forget what resources are, you can click on that blue help bubble, and it'll give you a quick rundown of what resources are. And same thing with activities. So anytime you see that blue bubble, it's a really good way to learn what Moodle is doing. So let's try to add a page. So we're going to say we've got some content that we want to add, maybe a course schedule. Click on the Add Resource drop-down arrow, and then we get this list, and let's add a page. Now this is going to be a piece of some type of page that we want to add. Okay, so let's call this course schedule. And anytime you see a red title with a red asterisk by it, it's a required field. So we have to put something in this description field. Although you'll see in a minute it's not real necessary to, because we can always decide to display the description on the page or not. By default, this content doesn't show up on the page unless we want it to. So anyway, the description, you don't have to put anything in content. This is the meat of our content where we want to actually start typing something. So let's say tentative course schedule, and notice we've got a lot of editing icons up here, so I could highlight this and I could do all kinds of formatting for it. Maybe I wanted it to be a larger heading 1 format, maybe I want to center it, maybe I want to change the color of the text, and so we can do all that type of editing, and we can start doing our list of maybe week 1, week 2, and so forth. So you kind of get the idea. We can create content. So if you can use a word processor, you can probably use this. They call this the HTML editing window, and you can do all kinds of formatting with it. You can also make it larger too. If you grab the bottom corner of that HTML editing window, you can drag it down and make it longer and wider. That's sometimes helpful if you're doing a lot of typing. You can also cut and paste stuff in there, but let's go ahead and add that content. So say we finished our tentative schedule. I want you to notice that you can, any content that you add, you can allow access to it based on a date and a time. So you could make the content appear automatically and then disappear whenever you want to. You can actually have the student has to put a code in to get to the content. This is handy. This is new in Moodle too. It's the grade condition, so they don't see the content that you just added unless they get a certain grade on another piece of a quiz or something. So it's a conditional release or adaptive release. So let's go ahead and click Save and Display to save that page that we just created. And there's our tentative course schedule. Okay, now's a good time to talk about the links at the top, right underneath the green bar. This is what we call the breadcrumb trail. It gets us back and forth, gets us around in our course. Notice that we're in the course schedule in the general section under the EdTech practice course 04. So if I want to go back to the home page of my course, I don't hit the backspace key or arrows or anything. The breadcrumb trail is the best place to go. Or if I want to go back to the home page of my Moodle Rooms login, I would go all the way over to the home side. So let's go back to the home page of our course, and notice we've got a course schedule now. So say we wanted to I actually have a course schedule that I want to paste in, and so I'm going to actually duplicate that course schedule so I don't have to type everything in again. And then I'm going to go to a Word document that I have, and I've got a course schedule in a table format with a lot of formatting in it, and I'm going to right click on that and copy it and go back to my course schedule that we just duplicated and scroll down to the content section, and I'm going to replace all that stuff in there with and paste. Oops, let me and I'm going to hit Control V to paste that table in, and notice now we've got a table with formatting, and I didn't have to type any of that in. I've already had it in a Word document, so I just cut and paste. So you can do that as well. So let's click Save and Display and see what it looks like. There's our table, and let's go back to the home page of our course. And now we've got two course schedules. One, notice that I can quickly delete the one I don't want or hide it. I'm going to just delete this course schedule by clicking the red X. And maybe I want to indent that course schedule a little bit from the news forum. So now I've got a little bit of a hierarchy going. And all right, so we've got, there's my schedule, so they could students could quickly click on that and check out the schedule. I'm going to paste. I've got a file of a Word document that is my syllabus, and I want to paste the whole syllabus in. So to do that, I want to click Add a Resource, and that's a file. So I'm going to add a file to Moodle Rooms to my course. So I got, again, I have to give it a name, and I have to give it a description, which again doesn't really matter because the description doesn't show up on the course page by default, but it's red and it has asterisk by it, so you're forced to put something in there. If I didn't put something in there, it would give me an error message and tell me why. Okay, now we need to add that file, so we go down to the content section and click Add and upload a file and browse for that file in our computer. There's my syllabus. Click Open, and then it puts the path to it in that box, and now I'm ready to click Upload this file. And now the file is listed in that box, and we are ready to save and return to course. Okay, now we've got a news forum course schedule. I'm going to move this one over to the right there a little bit. Also want to show you the move icon. Notice the little black crosshairs. So if I want to put the syllabus above the course schedule, I just click on that black crosshairs arrow and hold down the button and then drag it above the course schedule, and it changes places. So that's how you move things around, is with the black crosshairs icon. Alright, so we've got some content in. Let's add a link now. Let's go down into one of our content areas, one of our weeks, and click Add Resource URL. URL stands for Universal Resource Locator. It's the web address of a web page. So let's say we got to give this URL a name and a description, and here's where we would type in or paste if you had copied it from from your address bar of your website, with your web browser. You could just paste that in here and scroll down and save and display. Let's go back to our course homepage, and now inside of our weekly content we've got OBU website. I'm going to turn off editing, so all of our little editing icons will go away and we'll see it from the perspective of the student. So this is what the student would see at this point. There's our syllabus and our course schedule and our OBU website. That's how you add basic content to your Moodle Rooms course site.